I stopped warning my boyfriend about obvious dangers and let him learn the hard way. My boyfriend Jake and I have been dating for over a year, and he has zero common sense, like absolutely none. Every time I try to warn him about something dangerous, he just smiles and says I worry too much, then does exactly what I told him not to do. It started small. I'd tell him not to lean his chair back during class because the desk behind him had a sharp corner. He'd laugh and say I was being paranoid. 5 minutes later, he'd tip backward and slam his head into that exact corner. I'd say don't touch the stove right after cooking because it's still hot. He'd roll his eyes and touch it anyway, then spend the next 10 minutes running his finger under cold water. The worst part wasn't that he got hurt, it's that he never connected his injuries to ignoring my warnings. Every single time, he'd act shocked like it was some random accident that nobody could have predicted. Meanwhile, I'm standing there like I literally just told you this would happen. After months of this, I started feeling like his mom instead of his girlfriend. I was constantly watching him, trying to prevent him from hurting himself in the most obvious ways possible. Don't put your phone on the edge of the table near your elbow. Don't wear flip-flops when we're hiking. Don't leave your laptop on your bed while it's charging. He'd ignore every warning, and I'd watch him drop his phone, twist his ankle, or wake up to a dead laptop with a burned blanket. Then he'd complain about his bad luck while I bit my tongue to keep from screaming. Last week was my breaking point. We were at his friend Tyler's house, and Tyler had this old trampoline in his backyard. The thing was clearly falling apart, with rust on the springs and a huge tear in the middle of the jumping surface. Jake immediately wanted to get on it. I told him it looked dangerous and that someone could get seriously hurt if those springs gave out or if they fell through that tier. He just grinned and said I was being a worried girlfriend again. That's when I decided I was done. Instead of arguing with him, I just said okay and sat down to watch. Jake started jumping around, doing flips and acting like he was some kind of gymnast. Tyler and his other friends were cheering him on, and Jake was loving the attention. I pulled out my phone and started recording, not because I wanted to capture his tricks, but because I knew exactly what was about to happen. Sure enough, after about 2 minutes of jumping, Jake landed weird, and his foot went straight through that tier I'd warned him about. He got stuck halfway through the trampoline with his legs scraped up from the metal frame. It took 3 guys to lift the trampoline enough to get him out, and he ended up with this massive bruise that went from his knee to his ankle. While Tyler's mom was getting Jake some ice and bandages, he looked at me and goes, I can't believe that just happened. It came out of nowhere. I held up my phone, showing the video I'd recorded, and said, I literally told you this would happen. I even got it on camera. For the first time ever, Jake actually went quiet and thought about it. I showed him the beginning of the video where you can hear me warning him about the tear in the trampoline, then the part where he ignored me and got hurt exactly like I said he would. That night, he finally admitted that maybe I'm not just being paranoid. Maybe I actually noticed things he doesn't. He apologized for never listening and promised to take my warnings seriously from now on. He's kept that promise so far, and honestly, our relationship is so much better now that I don't feel like I'm dating a toddler who's constantly trying to hurt himself.